Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. I picked this book up on a complete and total whim, just because, well, the title caught my attention, of course. And it's by Louanne, Brizadine, MD. And she actually wrote another book called The Female Brain, which I'm going to pick up as well because I'd like to read about our own brains, because I have a hard enough time trying to understand myself. This book is absolutely fantastic. It really, really, truly is. It talks about from the time of conception how boys are chemically different from girls because they are basically based in testosterone. And from that moment on, they're actually more attracted to movement, and they will avert their gaze from their parents, and that's completely normal. There's actually a note in the very back that talks about autism and Asperger's, but it's more common for boys to be autistic than it is for girls, which, I didn't think it was very uncommon. I've read the statistics on that before, so that didn't really shock me. But it's actually more common for a boy to avert his gaze, as he considers it a confrontation. It's more of a threat of his territory, so to speak. As it goes back to the whole idea of hunter-gatherer and foragers, and males always perceive a threat if other males in their territory, and they get aggressive. And actually, the male that is the more intimidating is from a female perspective, the most desirous or desirable. And this is just completely fascinating. I never really understood how a man's brain works. It talks about from the moment of conception, later on into their younger years, when the baby smell goes away and is replaced by boy smell, basically. This because of hormones in their body, and they start smelling more like a man, and getting the pheromones activated, and then their brains start to change. And the reason that men and women are so different is because we know we're locked into what's known as a female loop or a masculine loop. And men, although men like to fix things, they do care. They just they don't respond like we do. We're more empathetic, and societally speaking, men who show that kind of weakness, they're considered to be wusses or too feminine. And it talks about how homosexuals' brain is more like a female brain, which I didn't really think that was too much of a revelation. It talks about the mating brain and how a man is always fertile, which I've known from A&P. That's why men can have children into their dotage, which is, my father actually had me when he was 45, so I don't consider that miraculous at all. It talks about how the penis has a mind of its own, which is true. It's not really attached to any of the receptors. It's more of the contractile cells and everything have basically a mind of their own. I think they said something about the limbic system, but I can't really recall, but that makes sense. And it also talks about how French kissing can lead to sex. There's a lot of truth to that, because when we're dating, and kissing is the most intimate act, other than sexual intercourse itself, to really get to form a bond with your partner. And when men and women do that, they're actually tasting the chemical compositure of the saliva itself, and if it's pleasing, then they'll go and they'll want to be more intimate with that particular person, and it actually increases arousal. So French kissing can lead to sex, according to the book. Um, Talks about erectile dysfunction and how men have a lot of performance anxiety due to society's implications, and you got to give a woman an orgasm and all that crap, and yeah, stupid society. I hate you. But and I don't agree with that. I think if a man is willing enough to talk, I mean, communication is key. If a man is willing to converse with his partner and get to know her likes and dislikes, and same thing with a woman, it's just as important as a woman to communicate with her mate. So it talks about this in the book, and it also talks about when a man becomes a daddy, how his brain changes, chemically speaking, and the mommy brain and the daddy brain actually interact together and benefit each other. Same thing with sex and babies. When babies come into the picture, it actually becomes more prevalent for the two to stay together, and the bond is actually increased because oxytocin is produced, and I forget what the other one was. Dopamine. Yeah, dopamine is also produced in that case because it actually solidifies the relationship between mother and child. And oh shoot, hold on. Yeah, what's that? I'll be out for the internet in a bit. I'll let him out in a few, okay? Yeah, let me let him out, okay? Alright, I'll see you later. Bye. Ouch. Sorry. Okay, I'll make this very quick. This book is extremely fascinating, and if you're interested in how the male brain works, I would definitely recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, hands down. Hopefully I can read the companion guide to it, and I am going to keep hold of it because it's more of a reference book than it is just a book that you read one time and then put away. But it talks about all the stages of the brain, including when a man gets into his later years and how much more like a woman they become because testosterone starts to decrease. And a lot of the things that were said in the book were really not a revelation to me because I've seen it happen with my own father. But other than that, I really can't say too terribly much because it'll give away a lot. And it's a very short book, but including the notes, and the notes are really good in and of themselves. It's 177 pages long, and talks about pitches of voice for males and females, and the differences between that. According to attractiveness, and there's just so much information I can't possibly cover in one sitting right here. But if you have the chance to pick this book up, it's absolutely fascinating, and I absolutely love it. I never took psychology when I was in school, but it's the male brains just in general. The chemical makeup has always been something that has intrigued me. So now at least I understand guys a little bit better, even though this is probably the closest I'll ever come to an actual guy for a while, until I find the right person, or the right person finds me, which I'm sure it'll happen. It's just, guys are intimidated when they find a woman who has an intellect, but oh well, what are you going to do? I can't really change that. I'm not going to dumb myself down just for some guy. Well, that's about all I have to say. Hopefully I will be able to see The Hobbit over I don't know if I'll be able to or not. It just depends on what my schedule is, and it's so busy because of the holidays. But until next time, live long, prosper, and ciao tutti.